Damn, son, where'd you find this?
Who taught you to hate the texture of your hair? Who taught you to hate the color of your skin to such extent that you bleach to get like the white man? Who taught you to hate the shape of your nose and the shape of your lips? Who taught you to hate yourself from the top of your head to the soles of your feet?
I love people as I meet them one by one. People are just wonderful as individuals. You see the whole...
My great aspiration, my greatest ambition is to be so good. Now, in that way, I'm tiresome, as I suppose, to live with, because I want to be a fantastic human being.
I am the greatest.
We're not disputing that, Cassius, but how does Sonny Liston feel about it?
He can't feel but one way, and let's take everything I say and like it. Because February the 25th, I'm going to take back my job. I'm the champ. He's no champ. He's a tramp.
When you see men fall, don't laugh. Learn. Learn. Because you're on your way up. And the things that tempt people to fall, you and I are not free from that temptation.
If I'm a one-hit wonder, at least I got one, huh? At least I got something, really ain't me. The beat bumping, one song could change lives. Let's see something, one joke could save lives. We gon' keep coming, keep functioning, something out of nothing. Ball-wise, I'm top 300, get your favorite artist. I'll chop it up with mutton if they haters. Your ghost could be bludgeon if they for real. We getting money, subtract BS minus Negroes, cutting everything authentic. Stupid shit I did it, punishing myself like my mind prison. No questions, no tea, not lifting. One time for tea, being broke wasn't living. One hit wonder, at least I got.
Reason as corporate gods fund smear campaigns. The rich planned for our ignorance and levy costs to rot our brains. Like villains, they bought out our lives and killed dissent with every trial. So here we sit with twiddled thumbs, engraving tombs with our denial.
All right, there we go.
Is out there, written online and found in books. We all know the
Peace and blessings to the folks. Miss Sydney right now is summoning up some spirits right now. We got to get active here in a second. Peace and blessings to everybody. I hope everything is well with you guys. Happy Tuesday. Chef, what up? What up? What up? You see the title. I got you covered. I switched some stuff up. I was gonna wait for Thursday for this, but I said I'm gonna go ahead and swap it out, do it tonight. I got two clips. One of them is going to show the incident. The other one is going to be an explanation behind the incident. So this should be a good one. Love to hear your feedback in the comment section. As always, if it ain't you, there is no us. Sydney, you good? You sound like you was getting in the Halloween spirit.
It kind of does look like that. It matches I have like a tribal skirt, so but the scorpion does fit with that. This is my favorite. It's so cool. It actually it moves.
Oh, that's what's up.
Right?
I know, I got little pieces here and there. If they broke, I would be pissed. But for me, it's my glasses. It's my shades.
Oh yeah.
So those, I had a pair earlier. I tried to take them off the wall because I got a little thing that I hang them on. I broke one of the. It wasn't my favorite pair though, so I'm like, cool, but yeah.
I'm sure you've seen my bat one as well. I have the big bat that I used to wear, or that I still wear. I'll definitely wear that a lot during Halloween time.
Not mad at it. Charleston White, you know how he is, you know what he speaks on, you know what he believes in or don't believe in. A lot to unpack here. He got ran off of a HBCU, but according to him, it's some other stuff with it. So some people might be familiar with this particular situation. Some people might not be. Fortunately, I have the footage. So I'm going to bring it up. The first one is pretty much going into what he was talking about and how he ended up leaving. The other one is going to be about him pretty much explaining how he was feeling and what he was actually addressing. And I just want to get your take on it. Arcana, what's going on? What's going on? What's the word? What's the word? All right. Let's go ahead and play this first clip, man. This is like 2 minutes. If you hear any staticky stuff, my internet be acting kind of funny with me. Hopefully we don't get any of that. It just runs smooth through.
Let's start there, because the white man, the system, don't have nothing to do with the club your mom and daddy met in. And the night your mom and daddy decide to have unprotected sex out of wedlock to develop you. That's where it starts, long before the systematic structure. The prenatal care that your mother didn't do, that's where it started. Was you breastfed when you got her? Was your dad in her? What kind of environment was you born in to develop your temperament where you are easily angered? Was you introduced to a man? Was you abused and neglected by your mother? Did you eat breakfast before you got to school? Who taught you to read? The white man ain't got nothing to do to that. Those are your mother's and choices, decisions. The roots and the fruit are one and the same. It ain't got nothing to do with racism, because capitalism has superseded racism. Did your mama birth you poor? Do you get free lunch? Because if you get free lunch, you are at below or at above the poverty level. The system has nothing to do with that. Do you have a piggy bank? Do you know banking? Could you count it? Could you read before you showed up to this white man's school system? That's where it starts at. He said, who taught you how to read? Your parents? No. The school? World. The same system that you think suppressed you. Who put the rules down in the hood before you even learned the laws? You follow hood codes, hood principles. You don't follow the white man's laws. The hood say you can't wear this color. Who gave them the color? The conditions of their heart. Who write these rap lyrics? The music label don't. The condition of the heart of the rapper shows up at these white men's doorstep with these dreadful, detrimental lyrics. It's in their hearts, based on how they was raised and where they was raised. Before we get to the police.
Now, what you don't see here, because I thought they were going to show that part, he started to get booed. He wasn't really getting the type of feedback or reception that he expected. And he got up, he stormed off and pretty much said, fuck it. Y'all don't want me here. Fuck it. Just addressing what he said here initially first. I don't disagree with nothing that he said. Matter of fact, I don't really know what about this really triggered people so bad to the point to where he decided to get up and leave. what I'm going to do here, because there's something else that I want to pull up. Let me ask you a question based on what you heard here. Do you think that he was trolling? Do you think this was about content?
I really think this was genuine. I really appreciated it. Like, reading the article at first, I was like, what do you mean racism doesn't exist? But as he laid it out and all the points that he brought up, I'm like, okay, I can kind of see where this is going. I can imagine that people probably were triggered by the fact that he said there was no racism, because I know particularly like college students and young people, they get quite irate if you say like there's no racism, there's no sexism, there's no blah blah blah, because there is. We can't deny that there are definitely people out there that hold these ill beliefs about other people, but it's as Arcana said, this is triggering to people because it's true. It's in our face, and it's something that a lot of people haven't admitted to themselves yet, that they live in a racist society, that they live in a society that's influenced by everything around them. And I think the point to me that really drove it home, at least in my perspective, was when he tied it to capitalism, because that is 100% what I believe is behind a lot of this dysfunction that we're seeing. Because while capitalism isn't racism, capitalism reinforces the isms. It reinforces sexism, classism, racism, all that stuff. So I feel like partially it could have been his delivery, like people, how people even react to how you are looking. And then also the fact that he said racism doesn't exist. I think a lot of people like immediately turned off and they're like, okay, I'm not listening anymore. But I think if you really, really look at it from a logical perspective and kind of examine all of his points and words that he brought up, like all of the examples that he brought up, it makes a lot more sense. And it really does apply to kind of the world we live in. So yeah, that's what I have to say for now. You're on mute.
I'm trying to bring up the other clip, the one where he actually walks out. Let me see. What I was basically saying though is he wasn't lying. I know he is a troll, and he does get a kick out of it. But some stuff is not a joke. This particularly wasn't meant to be a joke. If you actually believe that we don't support or we aren't responsible for the lack of knowledge, or we're not responsible for the way that our communities are brought up, you can point the finger at everybody else. You can say the government this and the government that, and you can do that. But at the end of the day, you as a grown man or a woman, as a tribe, as a culture, you still at the end of the day support and celebrate death, destruction, and chaos. You still support toxic traits and behavior patterns. You monopolize off of it. You hold it proudly in the air like it's a badge of honor. There's just things that are undeniable. What I don't think people expected was him to be as blunt as he was at that campus. To me, he is like Charlie Kirk but he's a little more cocky. He's more loud. He doesn't use the same. He's just as aggressive, but his approach and his style is completely different. Now, this is the video right here where he actually the facility. Hold on. Then I'm gonna pull up the other one.
We go back and forth. The old man say two black people don't have no business hanging with each other. Why? Because all they're gonna do is argue and squabble. When they get through arguing, squabbling, and debate, they ain't gonna build nothing. They're not gonna produce nothing. They're not gonna manufacture nothing. They're not gonna create nothing. So why you talk to black people? We're not arguing, Mr. White. We need plans. We need resources. And that's what we need alternatives. We're not coming with alternative debate.
All y'all debating for. All y'all debating for. Get some goddamn money. Big dog. Y'all want to debate? Y'all got listen, y'all got an educated scholar, college educated nigga talking street talk, criminal talk. I wasted my time. Most educated game, not a goddamn thing, nothing. I thought I was talking to children. I'm arguing with adults.
Why are you walking away from your people? Why are you walking away?
I'm down by my people.
Mr. White.
The white fuck my people. I don't give a damn about my people.
You right there, bro. You right here. Charles.
They wasted my time bringing me here. They wasted my motherfucking damn, man. Fucking with me about my people. Y'all don't even care about y'all people. Go talk to your grandmama then. They wasted my time. Fuck racism. I don't believe in racism.
Get that card to Mr. White, big
I
dog.
don't believe in man. I don't believe in
God bless y'all, man.
You too.
Man, I don't give a damn about no HBCU. I went to a white school.
Well, what happened? And you're now at an HBCU.
I don't give a fuck about an HBCU.
Well, why are you here?
Because they brought me here by mistake. I didn't know I was coming.
Let's go.
I didn't know I was coming. I didn't know I was coming to this.
But you still came.
Damn. Let's go. Let's go. Yeah. You over here, bro.
That's the one that got people really triggered. That video right there. It wasn't the other one. The other one was more based. He was him, but this was him. You know what I'm saying? That's the shit that really got people in their feelings. So hold up. Let me close out of this one and go to the other screen. I've already expressed a number of times how I feel specifically about that brother. Like, he does say some stuff. Like, he's one of those grifter panhandle type dudes. Like, you know, we spoke on this a few times. You have a person who caters to the audience based on where they're going. He doesn't necessarily give a shit about either or, but he's getting paid. So he's going to fulfill his agreement and he's going to complete his objective. Pardon my French. I always thought Charleston White was one of those folks that he found a niche and he capitalized off of it. He'll talk about things that's true. He'll give you reality. He'll give you aggression. He'll give you hood politics. He'll speak about being in the street, being arrested. He'll talk about criminal activity. He'll talk about his family upbringing, about marriage. He gives the people a combination of everything. in terms of entertainment. Because, you know, some people, when they come on the internet, they want certain things. They want that adrenaline rush. They want to feel like they are a part of your anger. They want to feel like they're a part of your frustration. They want to feel like they are a part of a live show, like you're at a comedy event. Like you're standing on stage and you're performing for thousands of people. They bought a ticket. So you better make my money worth. I want, if I pay $50 for this, give me $50 worth of entertainment. I have a million different things that's running through my head with this one. And forgive me, I'm skimming through comments. I'm kind of just trying to gather my thoughts because I've been sitting on this video for a few days and I've been waiting to talk about it. And, you know, it irritates me because even though he's telling the truth, in certain areas, he's still doing things in such a demeaning way. Like you're not getting the message across the way that you think you're getting it across. Now, if your whole point is to trigger people and to have people constantly talking about you, keep you in the algorithm so that you remain relevant, cool. If you are this guy that's this great prophet of the world that has saved kids and you've done all of this great stuff, all right. Like, Sydney, I'm gonna give the mic real quick because I know I'm borderline about to go into a whole nother tangent. What did you get from that clip right there?
I thought his reaction was a little bit oversized. I think that didn't really help him per se, having that type of response. I could understand why, and if what they're saying in the chat was true, him being under the influence of something, I could definitely see that contributing to that type of reaction. I do find it a little bit funny that he, or at least the headline says that he was chased off the campus if he voluntarily left the stage on his own. But I guess if maybe they banned him from ever coming back or something. But I thought what he said wasn't problematic. I think it was just his behavior after was problematic. Because that, as I was saying in the chat, with it makes me think of George Carlin because he was the king of saying things that were controversial, the king of pointing out things that most people didn't really want to think about or it made them uncomfortable to think about. And but he had a very a very sophisticated decorum when he was on stage. Like he had a very respectable demeanor to him, and even though he was saying these things that were very crass and divisive potentially, or triggering to people, he had an air to him, a personality to him that allowed it to be more of a discussion than an angry rant. And I think that might have been what kind of did Charleston White in, where a lot of people, I mean, ironically, there's probably that perception that because of the way he was acting, he wasn't intelligent, or he wasn't being respectable or whatever. And so people will in general, people will turn off their interest in you if they feel like you're not acting in a way that they resonate with. And so I wonder if him the way he was conveying himself even during the show, if that is also what bothered people, because I could see it as them like not even listening to what he had to say and just even watching what he was doing and judging completely based off that. I think that, again, what he was saying wasn't really problematic. I think it was more so how he was acting that really bothered people.
I have a problem with the hypocritical stuff. Now, let me see if I can kind of paint a picture of what I'm gathering he's trying to invoke. I could be completely wrong about this, though. You have hundreds and hundreds of different platforms on social media that address certain subjects in a way that their audience they adore it. George Carlin, the rest in peace, he was one of those people. Jimmy Fallon, one of them people. Charlie Kirk had his audience. I mean,
SNL. Sorry. Oh, and SNL as well.
Yeah. We got to be honest here. There's platforms that have their own style and they connect with a specific group of people. I believe, from what I see from him, he's doing what he does to reach a specific group of people. Because some people only respond to ignorance. Let's call it what it is. City, you are one of the most articulate people that has ever been up here. But at the end of the day, you're not about to go to what's the name of that movie, man? Insane in motion law, living in a gangster's paradise. You're not going to that high school with that demeanor, and you're not going to reach nobody like that. Not those. Like, you have to be a specific type of way in a specific setting, and I think he does that. I think he does that pretty well. The problem I have is he's a grifter to me. To me personally, because how the fuck are you talking about how you hate black people and you're this and you're that, but then you're doing 20 versus ones, you're doing these pimp shows where the girls got to do all of this humiliating shit in front of hundreds and thousands of people, black, Asian, Latinos. These are somebody's daughters up here embarrassing themselves for the chance to what? To be tricked out by you and one of your co-hosts on the show. You're making money off of humiliating and bringing some type of degradation to these platforms because your name is attached to it. So in one breath, you hate black people, but you exploit black people. You exploit black people, but you tell black people not to exploit black people. You talk about doing this and how you do this, but you're doing the same things that you say you got a problem with. You want to tell on criminals, you want them behind bars, but in the same breath, you contradict yourself all the time. But you got buddies and you got pals that are cool with you. You'll sit with certain people and it'll be just like this. It'll be the smoothest back and forth. Take him out of that element and throw him somewhere else. You already know. So it'd be hard for me to take him serious. Even though I know a lot of what he's saying is true, it's like even though you're being honest about certain shit, why are you the one speaking on it? Now I got the other clip I want to play for y'all. Let me go to these comments real quick because let me see something, man. It's hard for me to respect it when that's not how he started when I played basketball for him. He didn't do all that. You know why I don't really like social media? Like, I love it for giving me the space to do what I do, but I don't like it because it changes people. Success changes people. Fame changes people. When folks start gassing you up and they start saying, "Oh, can I have an autograph? I'll pay you to come see me. I'll pay you to do this. I'll do." Folks be becoming egotistical. That should be really changing folks. And it sucks because they'll be the most humble people before any notoriety, before that paycheck. And then as soon as y'all start giving them all of this love and support, then you start seeing their true colors. But see, I think a lot of that also Arcana, I think a lot of that comes with the territory, because eventually you're going to have to dance and you're going to have to perform for these people. Eventually you're going to have to start doing new dance moves. You can't keep doing the robot forever. You're going to have to learn how to do something else. Otherwise people will they'll get bored. Like I say, I don't disagree with a lot of the stuff he say. It's just like, come on, my nigga. You can say certain stuff, but then when you hold on. See, I'm missing some stuff. See, is his do you think his mission is pure? I like in its entirety, like you, from what you know overall, are we looking at someone who has pure intentions, or is there a method behind this?
I mean, as I think I said this morning, very, very, very few people out there who are putting themselves out there are doing it for purely good intentions. Most people, to some degree, professional or not, if you're putting yourself out there, if you're making yourself a brand, if you're making yourself the head of company, whatever, you are, to a degree, always going to be vouching for yourself for a little bit. You're going to be a bit selfish, because I mean, that's natural. When it's your brand, you're going to need to protect yourself. You can't be always giving, otherwise your business will go out of business. So in that sense, I don't think he's pure, but I also, I can definitely, I haven't seen that much of him. I've seen some content from him, but he does definitely seem like almost like a shock jockey type behavior. It also kind of makes me think of what's his name, the one with the glasses and the afro, that had the radio talk show. Like, it's that kind of energy where he's just trying to like get the crowd like, oh my god, I can't believe you said that. So I think that while he might do this because he enjoys it, I don't think he's doing it with pure intentions. I think he is doing it because, I mean, it gets him money, it gets him attention. Obviously, we see how, like, what he's associated with and what people know him for. And as a celebrity, if you're typecasted into a certain type of role, it can be very hard to break out of that. And so oftentimes they'll just try to reinforce that role by making sure those jobs that you do are in line with that personality. And I think it's sad because he did have a lot of good content in there. But it was the way he acted really that I think really crumbled his view, how people would view him. I can't find the actual quote, but I remember learning this quote a while ago, where it's like, it's one part content and like 3 parts delivery or something like that, where it's like, it's not always what you're saying, it's how you're saying it to people, it's how you're portraying it, it's how you're connecting with others, because you can have 100 people say the same thing, and I'm gonna say it because I ain't scared of y'all, but only a few of them might resonate with people widely. Like we see this even with celebrities, like thousands of people can sing, but only a couple people are able to become a star, because it's a combination of content and delivery, your personality, and how you portray yourself. So I think he had the content part down. He just does not have the delivery part down.
What I want to do is play the last clip that I have. This is the one that's actually him talking about basically his point of view of what happened. I don't know if this is the same footage that you saw, Chef, confirm or not, but I'm gonna let this one rock out. It's like 2 minutes.
The kids chasing me for content. The little girl asked me about my people. I started to tell that bitch, don't put a bra on and cover up them hard ass nipples, little bitch, while you fucking with me about my people. I don't give a fuck about my people. And y'all spreading that hot pussy around, bitch.
That's where a lot of backlash came from yesterday, because hold on, they said you lifted up the HBCUs with the Dion leaving, and then,
I didn't lift up HBCU. I lifted up Jackson State with hashtag HBCU.
Yes.
I didn't lift up shit. I told y'all I don't give a fuck about half the shit I'm talking about. I was just doing that to troll Dion. Didn't I tell y'all that? I said, man, listen, I don't mean this shit toward Dion. Y'all, I'm just really bullshit. I'm fucking with black people. I don't care about HBCUs. I went to Texas Wesleyan University. Give a fuck about HBCUs.
Somebody DM'd me yesterday, and I thought it was interesting. They said, Sean, why do you promote Charleston when he has this? It's like he's promoting to give up on the black.
I am.
But why?
Because the rappers are promoting it to kill blacks. The rappers are promoting to kill blacks. I'm just saying, give up on them. Don't kill them, y'all. So what's the difference? We gotta take it one step at a time, nigga. I'm just trying not to get the nigga to kill each other. So what's the difference? And
I guess people think your new campaign is because you said you're done with the campaign and trying to save the black people.
I've been done with that. I was done that when we done our first interview. They don't know me for trying to save black people, Sean. So why they keep bringing that up?
I guess because yesterday you said fuck black people.
I say it all the time. I always say I don't.
But you said it on HBCU.
I say it all the time. Fuck black people. I don't give a fuck about black people. I fuck with my kind.
Yeah.
That's where they keep missing the point. So when I walk out on them, the kids chasing me.
Yeah. Now you see what I'm talking about with the whole grifting, panhandling, if that's even the right word for that shit.
What a charmer.
Yeah, this is what I've noticed about the people of social media, the ones that got huge followers. And this might be a little controversial for some people. I think most of the folks that have these huge followings are just like him. They just speak proper English. They know how to dial it back. They can insult you like he does, but they just know how to word it politely. They know how to spin it to make it look like it's clean and shiny, but they're really saying the same thing that he's saying. And that's how they base their metrics. That's how their algorithm works. Andrew Tate has his own style. Myron is damn near Charleston White. Hell, people hate Myron Gaines. You have a number of people, like even Candace Owens, what's his name? I just watched him too. Piers Morgan. Like you have a number of folks that they know how to articulate themselves, but they're really no different than he is. He's just absurdly aggressive. And that's where people be getting the whole game fucked up. Because you'll think that you listening to somebody who's really about you. No, they're not. How much of this is them sprinkling in honest truth from a sincere place, and how much of it is them really just telling you whatever the hell you want to hear? Because if I go to my analytics, 60% of the viewership is men, and the other 40 is between the ages of this 16 and 18. Or I go to my analytics and 70% of my content is being viewed by women. So I'm going to make most of my content about women. You get my drift. Everybody is following a cycle. They're going based off of the retention and what keeps them there. And whatever is keeping them there, they're going to acquiesce to it. What's what? Which part? Which part you referring to? Look, the rap music trash. The rap music does nothing but promote violence and sex and promiscuity and all. Yes, club music, grinding. You know, and I know that the lyrics have nothing to do with building a community.
That's why y'all need to listen to Rob and his music.
Matter of fact, shout out to Rob on the intro. You know what I'm saying? Now that I think about it, yeah. Hold tight. Hold tight. Let me get this off of here.
I do think there are rappers that cover deeper topics, but I just think that they're not the mainstream ones. Like the mainstream ones are the ones that just put out the like corporatized, like this is what's popular, so you're gonna sing this type of stuff. I think that there are singers out there that do speak the truth. It's just they're so hidden because there's like so many more famous people that get attention way before anybody else gets attention. Like you kind of have to go to the underground to be able to find a lot of these unique artists that are not touched by the industry and manipulated by these corporate giants that want you to sing certain ways. One thing that I thought of too when I was watching that last video of him is when he said, like, I hate black people. I like my people, or however he worded it. I'm like, who are your people then? Like, if you hate the black community, who are your people? Who do you consider your crowd? Because it doesn't seem like the people that we thought you would who would be your people are your people. So what are you getting at? I just thought that was kind of ironic.
All right, so I'm gonna answer your question, and I'm gonna answer Arcana's question real quick. Myron Gaines has a platform called Fresh and Fit. Fresh and Fit is a red pill podcast. It got demonetized on YouTube because he says a lot of racially hateful things. A lot of it. He's very vulgar. He's very disrespectful to the women they bring on this panel. They ultimately sponsors stop fucking with him. He still records. They still find ways to get his stuff up there, but he can't make money on YouTube no more. People make money off of his shit, but that's pretty much who he is. He's like, I did a reaction video to him recently. I'll see if I can pull it up, so you'll see what I'm talking about. You'll understand once you see it. But to answer your question, I think when he said his kind, I think he's referring to folks who don't act ignorant, or folks who know how to adapt in the suit and tie world, that don't walk around toting guns and spitting out tobacco. I think he's more or less referring to folks who don't fall under the stereotypes, the typical black person rhetoric that you see gets spun around all the time. I think that's what it's almost like he's saying, I don't know y'all. That's what I gather he's saying. Even though you're monetizing off of them, the same people that you're denying, you're making money off of. And you say you're helping them, and you're doing all of this wonderful stuff. Like, I don't know how you can live in two different worlds and still be considered a guy of value or worth. Like, I hear the name and, oh, Charleston White is on. I'm gonna go listen to everything he says. He is the Messiah. He must be the one to come to save the black community. I don't get that. I don't. Sorry.
So he's the black Messiah, and then Kirk is the white Messiah, I guess.
Right. Make sense. And now that you bring that up, did you hear that they're putting him on a coin? Charlie Kirk is getting put on 400,000 coins. Yes.
That's just as bad as that whole statue thing where they want to put him put a gold statue of him and his family in every school in Oklahoma or college in Oklahoma. Like, why? There have been so many other people that did. Like, Martin Luther King doesn't even have that. Why is Kirk getting that? Oh, this country.
Yeah. Like, look, man, y'all listen to whoever you want to listen to. Okay? I'm not telling you not to watch him or, like, you like who you like. You hear me? But you can't sit here and say, like, when he say fuck black people, I know what he's talking about. I'm not offended by it. I know what he means. He's not. Look, let me translate this. He's not talking about black people per se. He's talking about the ones who boldly and proudly walk around with the NIGGA badge. He's talking about them. Young Gunner, Young Dolph, and all them mumble rappers. He's talking about Cardi B, and he's talking about them. He's not talking about Barack Obama and folks that's really doctors. Like, I can't think of his name. It's a black male doctor. That man was one of the first to successfully do like a heart transplant or some shit. Nobody ever talks about it. You'll never know. I'm gonna have to find that and post it. Because every black man and woman that's out here in the world, they not moving the way that we see a lot of these people moving. So I do understand he's not talking about a specific group. He's talking about you know who.
Was it Daniel Williams? It said he performed one of the first successful open heart surgeries on a patient who had been stabbed. He founded the Provident Hospital in Chicago, the first interracial and Black-owned hospital in the United States. And he was also the first African-American to be admitted into the American College of Surgeons.
That's him.
Interesting. He also co-founded the National Medical Association, which we still use to this day. Yeah, there's so many people from, like, we should literally do an episode just on this, but there's so many people from history that have been forgotten just because of their skin color. Like, there are so many firsts that Black, Hispanic, and other individuals are responsible for that they do not get credit for. And it's super unfortunate. One of my favorite movies was Hidden Figures, and it talked about all of the women that were behind the mathematics that allowed us to go to space. And we don't credit any of them. We only think about the 3 white men that were on the rocket ship. And this is exactly kind of small tangent, but like, this is exactly why we need to reevaluate what we're teaching our kids in history, because we're disenfranchising our children by making them think that nobody else like them is successful and can be successful. And so we have all these kids growing up seeing all of these white heroes, and they think like, oh, well, it's not possible for me because I don't look like that. And it is, and it always has been. It's just we don't like to show it. And I think this is the type of stuff that Black celebrities and celebrities of all types should be talking about, people of history. But we're so busy like trying to get clout that we just don't care. We're just more interested in who gets the most views, who gets the most money, who has the coolest car, what are we wearing, what blah blah blah. So yeah, this is an example of the type of people that get idolized compared to the type of people that are forgotten.
I'm definitely going to spin back. I'm going to have me a nice little list, and then we're going to give them their flowers. Because you're not going to sit here and convince me that all we got to offer out here is what he's arguing about and against. You know why he is the way he is? A lot of it is because that's how he reaches a specific group of people. I've said it earlier in the stream. I don't think that's the way. I don't even think that's necessary. I believe that you can speak normal at a reasonable tone and get your message out there to whoever needs to hear without you having to do all of the theatrics. But that's what's popular. You get to team up with Kai Sinai and do all these collaborations with Twitch stars and streamers. Like Arcana said earlier, it doesn't really seem like it's about the message at all, when it really should be about the message. too many of y'all are looking to be entertained by people. You're not really trying to get anything out of it. And I've seen comments. I've seen hundreds of people say, how did we make him famous? Why is he in the position he's in? Yeah, because we put them there. Most of the folks that we see in the seats that they're in is because we put them there. If you was against it, why do you consume it? If you didn't like it, why do you watch it? Why do you subscribe to it? Why do you repost it? Why do you share it? Why do you tag people in it to engage with it? It's thousands of y'all. There's thousands of men and women out here that don't believe in what he believes in. Y'all could actually have these conversations yourself, but you don't. You turn to people to do what you could do. You rely on them to take on the brunt of it all. Arcana, he has knowledge about a lot of stuff. Chef has knowledge about a lot of stuff. There's hundreds and thousands of people who could do exactly what Charleston White does, but they don't have to approach it the way that he does. But most people don't want that position. Most people don't want to sit in that hot seat. This shit is not what people think it is. Like we fresh. Nobody really knows like what we do over here. If they understood the content and they saw what it would be a whole entirely different ballgame. This ain't easy. We got to be built a certain way to be able to do this. And that's exactly why there are some people who survive in these YouTube streets and on these social media streets as long as they do, because they understand the science behind it. How many of these people do you think are still going to be here in the next 5 years, Sid? How many of these people do you think are going to still be relevant?
They'll be in the back. They'll be watching from the back, from the back room. I think sadly some of these people might continue to be famous just because of their notoriety, in the same way like the Kardashians are, where they're going to live in infamy because of their association with all of the negative characteristics that they have. Like nobody's going to remember them for what they actually did. They're going to remember them for like the big ass and and the clothes and the plastic surgery and the fact that they're all broke and are doing like, they're going to be examples, I think, rather than like memories. Because I think there's people that will live forever in our minds and our history because they've done something for us. Whether it's brought out a revolutionary idea or invented whatever they did. And then there's people that are infamous. We know them because of their behavior and how they chose to act. And something was so different than other people that they're just remembered for that. But I don't think he's never going to be somebody that's like, in 200 years, a kid has to write a project about someone from history. I doubt there's going to be somebody writing a project about him.
Yeah. Remember I said eventually you're gonna have to start doing something else. You're gonna have to dance. You can't just percolate or do the electric.
Now he's gonna have to find something else now.
Exactly. I will never sell my soul to remain relevant to a bunch of people who are convinced that being ignorant is the way to go. So all the brands and the sleeping with certain people and doing all the backdooring, I'm not no. Let's just keep it neutral. I don't want to be compromised, and I gotta watch what I say about this and that because you're friends with this person and that person. Nah, because what's wrong is wrong and what's right is right. And when this is all said and done, Charleston White, he might be a lot of things, but they shouldn't have even had him there in the first place. I'm just going to say it. They picked the wrong person for that. You chose him because you knew that it was going to start some shit. You knew he was going to be who he was. Like, I'm not even surprised at that. That's his character. That's how he makes his money. That man traveled across America to troll white people, to have conversations with white people. This is what he does. That's why there's a lot of social media stuff I don't like, because you don't know what's genuine and what isn't. Anytime I see Charleston White pop up on any screen, I'm wondering, all right, who are you about to troll now? Should I take him serious, this interview? Should I ignore it? Should I just scroll past it? Well, what are he about to say now? Because you know it's going to be either something ignorant or it's going to be a mixture of, he has a point. Oh, and there he goes again, reverting back to the other stuff. You doing all this shit. Look, you did all of this good stuff for the people. You got all these accolades and all these. Okay. But why is it possible to taint your brand? Like, because like if he names all of these awards he got, and he got the key to the city and all, he talk about all that shit, but then when you see him in everything else, it's like, I don't even remember any of this stuff that you accomplished, because all I can think about is all this stupid stuff you do.
A 1,000%. You can totally ruin your reputation. I know there's quite a number of celebrities that have done the same thing, where they've said a certain thing or have done a certain thing, and because of that, they just no longer get any offers. People don't want to interview them. People don't want to associate them, have them on the sets. There's even some famous celebrities that are basically not able to get work because of how they've acted in the past. So 100%. You can totally ruin your own reputation. And again, I wouldn't be surprised if he did in this moment, just again, not because of what he said, but how he acted. Like, acting that flaming in front of everybody, especially college students, I think they were, is really, it's kind of a no-no, especially in the entertainment industry. And the fact that he like rage left the stage really kind of sealed the deal for me, at least, because I'm like, okay, you can't even stand, like, I remember with Carlin, and I used to also watch Johnny Carson a little bit, and Jay Leno. I've seen quite a variety of comedians over the years, and there are many times when at any of these places, any of these people, they have made a mistake. They have said something they knew was wrong, and you could obviously tell from the audience that they did not receive what they said well, but they found a way to backpedal, apologize, or in some way reframe the joke so it wasn't as hurtful, or they would come back and apologize later. And he did none of these things. Like, he just was like, you didn't like it? All right, I'm gone. And then later he was just like, I hate all of them. Like, I don't care about what they thought. They didn't like, as an entertainer, you have to keep in mind that you are the product. And if people don't like the product, they're going to stop consuming the product. And you can't, like, imagine if we, like, go and buy a car and our car, like, the car just starts, like, yelling at us or something. Like, what? You want to get in me? Like, what? You're going to drive away? Like, we would never go near that car lot again. We'd never deal with that company again. Like, that's a super weird example. But, like, if we had the things around us making us unhappy or dissatisfied, we're going to cut it off. Like, we're not going to subject ourselves to that, especially with how much stuff we have to deal with in the world. Like, it's very, very easy to get canceled now. And I think what he did canceled himself, because I doubt there's colleges are not going to invite him back. And I highly doubt any, like, TV places are going to bring him on. So the most he'll probably get is, like, small gigs or internet stuff. I'm also curious what you think of that opinion that he voiced at the very beginning, that that all of this is, like, also partially the Black community's fault because they promote these ideas. Because I kind of have my perspective on that is, yes, they do promote these ideas, but it's also the industry that's kind of encouraging that. And it's kind of like a dog biting its tail. Like, you can't really tell where it started, whether it was the industry that basically made people believe that's who they were, and so then they assimilated it into their content, or if it's we had already been feeling that way because of how we were living and stuff like that, and then we started to express it within the music. And so it's coming from us. So I'm just curious what your perspective is on that. Like, if it's from us, or, I mean, the Black, I say us because my husband's Black and my kids are mixed, but you know what I mean? I'm just curious what, like, you think of that perspective he was sharing.
Honestly, I believe that it's been indoctrinated. I think most of what we see is through indoctrination. Keep in mind, I'm not a Webster's dictionary, so you're not going to get a bunch of fancy words from me. But I'm going to say this, everything has a root to it. Somebody planted the seed, right? Everything comes from something. So I didn't learn about lesbianism and all that shit until I started seeing it in my face. Well, who put it in my face? Who made it available to me to see? I didn't know nothing about gang banging and all that stuff until it was put in my face. Who taught them about gang banging and all that? Who taught them that fighting amongst yourself was okay? Who taught people that it was cool to like this type of music? Who taught people to be okay with being mediocre, having a mediocre life? That it was okay to be a prisoner to the 9-to-5 job? Who taught people that your education wasn't valuable? Like, a lot of this, if people sat down long enough and really asked the question, why am I the way I am? Did I voluntarily become this? Or was a lot of this stuff pushed on me by somebody else, and I just inherited. I believe a lot of this has been inherited. Now, I'm not going to say all of this was 100% on us in general, but a lot of it is our fault, because I can tell you that 200 years ago, such and such had a conversation with such and such to do this, and we're going to make sure that 200 years from now, what we did here passes on to every single person in our lineage until we see our dreams fulfilled. I could say that, and in most cases that is true. But then at some point as an adult, once you hit a certain age in life, you understand that you have to make the choices and the decisions to just decide what side of the fence you're going to be on, what kind of human being you're going to showcase and present to the world. What's right, what's wrong, what's good and what's bad, what is culturally acceptable and what isn't. A lot of this was programmed in us. We just too stupid to understand that we're being played with. And it's like you put a bunch of mice or rats in that little hamster wheel. You got your science lab. You got people that come in. One person does an hour, they leave. The other person does an hour, they leave. They rotate throughout the day, and they have their little clipboards where they kind of just mark off the behavior patterns. They do the numbers, the statistics. They see how you perform in certain environments. That's how I look at shit like this. Everybody has been put in this lab, and everybody's either on the wheel or they got you in like this little hostile environment where they put you amongst other folks that don't have the same dietary habits. So you're more likely to starve or struggle for food, or they put you in an area where you thrive. You have water, food, all that. And like I believe they experiment. Experiments. That's what I was trying to get out. If that answers your question, I absolutely believe a lot of this is fed to us.
What you're saying is 100% true. Like, this is passed down from generations. There's so much research on this topic, but you can literally trace traumas that current generations experience from what their past families experienced. And there's higher rates of all sorts of negative outcomes associated with people that have family lines connected to those individuals, even if they themselves were able to overcome and still have a good life and were able to kind of escape that treatment. It still follows you. It still haunts you. Like, even people that are children of Holocaust victims, even though they themselves never were in those camps, they still live with the traumas that were passed down to them from their family members. So this is I forgot who said this again, but one of my favorite quotes that really stuck with me when I was in college was, slavery wasn't that long ago. It was literally 2 old ladies ago. 2 old women, and you'd be back in slave time periods. And that is something that I think a lot of people don't really think about, is how close we are to that history. We're not really that far removed from a really egregious time period when we were very deeply horrible to other human beings. Was it? Okay. Yeah. I think, like, that's the only point that he kind of alluded to that I thought was kind of like that he said this was passed down, I think, or that might have also been just my thought. But that is something I've always believed, that how we live, the habits we have, what we exhibit, what the opportunities we have are very much connected with how society feels about us. Because whether we like to admit it or not, if the people around you don't respect you, you're not going to get as many opportunities. You're not going to get as good of housing like places to live. They're not going to treat you or your children or your education or your health care or your food sources with the same amount of respect that they would give somebody of a different caliber, of a different background, I should say. And it's with social media, maybe with capitalism, maybe we've become blind to this. I think we've gone to the point where we all think that we can buy our way into happiness and success and whatever, but we forget that there's so many different influences that are still pulling us backwards that we're not even aware of. So yeah, exactly, that's exactly the quote. But again, history, it's why we need it, why we need to understand it, why we need to connect ourselves to it. One story that stuck with me that I heard very, very recently was this morning. It was a farm worker talking about losing her job in the fields, but she has 2 children, both of which have really severe disabilities. And she was saying that she strongly believes that her children have those issues because of the pesticides that they're exposed to. And overwhelmingly, the Hispanic communities and the Black communities are exposed to far more chemical exposure, are exposed to far more chemicals than white communities. And the cleanup and the stuff that they do to stop and warn people and I forgot the word that I was going to use, but prevent really bad things from happening doesn't really go into effect as much for colored communities. We hear this from, I think it's Palestine, Ohio. And then, oh my gosh, there's one that was really famous, but Flint, Michigan is another. There's a whole host of cities all over the country that just because of their color majority, they basically were like, oh, whoops, well, they can't afford to clean it up, so we might as well just not tell them. And it's happened over and over and over through history. And all of these things, I believe in the butterfly effect, all of these things have an impact down the line. How your communities were treated in the 1920s, in the 1860s, is going to reflect in the way that we live today.
Do we have an issue with the messenger or the message? All right, better question to you and the public in general. Do you care about same question? Do you care about how it was delivered or the fact that it was delivered? Does the message matter more to you than who it comes from, or does it really make a difference? Or would you rather it be a specific person, or you don't care at all? And I'm asking because look at the way the social media is structured. Look at the people who idolize and worship these specific artists and individuals. And tell me that it matters or doesn't matter. If Cardi B can get thousands of people to come to her aid, even though we know she's fucking wrong and irresponsible for how she raised her kids and how she's representing women in general. If she can manage to convince people that what she's doing is fine, then what are we really doing here? I give the mic.
I think there was truth to his message, and especially what he said in the first, like, I don't know, was it 5 minutes, whatever. But he really, really lost me once he got angry and stormed off stage, because I just think that's like, as a performer, as an entertainer, you kind of have to accept some element of inevitability that you're gonna piss off somebody, and for you to like crash out and burn just because a joke you said or something you said wasn't really received well isn't a good look. And I think if you're making yourself as an entertainer, you really have to find that type of balance where you're able to say things that are eye-catching or ear-catching, but you also have a restraint on your own personal essence. Because most celebrities, most people that are entertainers, as I said, they're not putting their own personalities out there. They are to a degree with how they deliver, but they aren't just saying anything that's in their minds. Like, they're not just rolling out all their thoughts and just like, here world, this is what I think. Like, these jokes have been carefully picked and created by a whole team who are like, all right, these probably will resonate well with the people, and this is really popular right now. Like, it didn't seem like he did that. It seemed like he just kind of let it all out. And that type of stuff really puts you in danger of accidentally blurting out something inappropriate. And he definitely did that, but then he piled on by really crashing out. And so I think if he had talked and didn't have I think also his, like, I don't know, it seemed like he kept like standing up and was almost like yelling at people even when he was doing just like his normal talk. I think if he had it more as like a TED Talk-ish type demeanor, like where you're just walking around and like you're engaging, you're using your hand motions, but you're not like yelling at them, I think he might have been received a bit better. But I think the combination of what he said with how he was delivering it was really where it kind of ticked people off, because it made him seem more like a rant rather than as kind of an educational heart-to-heart, like, let me expose you to these things that are affecting our community and stuff like that. Let me connect. Like, it didn't seem like he was trying to connect with anybody. I think that was the big thing, is he really, really didn't seem like he was trying to reach people. He was just complaining, I guess, ranting, raving. But he should have found a different way to kind of go back on what he said instead of just like leaving and F all of you, I don't care, I don't ever, because that type of flippant attitude is not going to bode well in the public eye. And with the fact that it's now on the internet, it's going to live there forever, and it's going to be hard for him to shake that off. And I imagine most professional places won't invite him back.
I don't see him losing a lot. Because of what he's able to do. Like, as much as I don't really like his approach, there's still a bunch of people out here who love that bitch and hoe shit. Bitch, shut the fuck up. Floppy titties and all blah, 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 blah. There's people who like that shit. They're going to continue to watch it, either because they just want to laugh at him and want to watch him humiliate himself, or because they really just live like that. Whoever, like, he's friends with Anton Daniels. Anton Daniels is a pretty successful dude and he does pretty well on YouTube. I don't see him cutting ties with him. I don't see him cutting ties with a lot of folks that are looking at this logistically like, well, he might be a handful to y'all, but he brings in money. His name brings in money. A regular average person that goes by Stephen Willis is not about to bring in or generate 1 million people. Now, maybe there's a few businesses that's not going to rock with them. I don't know about the whole school thing, but like personally, I wouldn't deal with it. I wouldn't. Because as far as I'm concerned, I don't trust him. He does too much flippy floppy stuff. How are you here, but then you're over here, then you're over here? You're unstable. Just from what I observed, y'all might think differently. That's okay. I'm at the point where I barely trust myself. I know damn well there's a number of folks that I don't trust on the internet. Y'all be having your own agendas.
I found an article in here talking about the college itself, and apparently the college is now doing an investigation because they originally when they were planning the event, they denied the event. They denied the attempt for the organizers to get approval for the discussion, and they held the event anyways. And apparently he said, White claimed that he only heard about the event right before it was started. So I wonder how much the school was also part of the problem. Just devil's advocate.
So they just randomly seen him walking down the street and say, hey, how would you like to be a part of the show? Well, damn. Okay. Well. And he's like, oh, well, hey, shit, I got about 5 minutes or so. I can do it. That was the most freestyled get together I ever seen. And then them kids, man, they was following them with the cameras out. Why are you leaving? Why are you leaving? We need you here. We need you. Why do you need him? Because he speaks a certain way that gets your attention. You like to laugh. You want the truth, but you want someone to be aggressive and be blunt. He has a style that connects with a certain group of folks, unlike anybody else. That's cool, but I don't know. That's just not my taste. It's not mine. I don't look at somebody like that and say this is a hero or someone who's going to lead an army of black men into battle and we're going to come out of this safe. Nobody's going to get hurt. I don't look at him like that. I look at him like he will rally you all together, and then when the guns come out, you're the ones that's going to be taking the bullets. He ain't going to be nowhere to be found. He gonna leave y'all out there to dry. And he gonna say, "Oh, you stupid motherfuckers. Gotcha. Got all you dumb motherfuckers." And that's how he sounds. That's exactly the type of person I believe he is in that aspect. My final thoughts, and I'll give it to you. Matter of fact, if you got anything you want to say before we go, I'll reserve mine for last. But if there's anything that you want to add on to the overall discussion in general, be my guest.
I actually have a poem that I thought might fit with this. I wrote this a while ago to talk about how like overcoming when you're dealing with like being suppressed or oppressed. So I thought it might be a good statement for the Black community, which he seemed to not really support. So I thought it would be a nice poem to end with. This one's called My Trophy. I have my trophy now. After years, you chose time after time. Deny, deny, deny. You see me here now with my answer, with my pride, an echo of your first reply. Deny, deny, deny. Fledglings leap into the fray. Tadpoles race into the depths. Cubs tumble into thickets, while turtles leave for life. All young must earn their keep. The children need a willing leap, for life's lessons only harden. Still, you feed with feeble conviction. You feed with fear and leave us here, afraid to leap into the fray, afraid to race into the depths, afraid to tumble into thickets, afraid to be alone for life. And yet, we can't want you. A mountain is a mountain, a river is a river, a tree is a tree. My salvation, yet to you, threats to me. You keep me to keep me, safe, you say, in the ground where you buried me. Skywards I crawl, proud of the braided ropes I formed from the selves I've had to strip away, that were born like bruises and clots, hiding me from your thoughts. As I climb, you rudely see my pride for shame, which you did ingrain. But I have my trophy now. After years of you deny, 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 you see me here now with my answer from the all-seeing eyes, and you deny, deny, deny. So here I stand, resilient, words in hand, a piece of myself, at peace at last. I have my trophy now. No more can you deny, deny, deny.
Well done. Well done. Great show. I didn't see anything wrong with the actual message in the footage. If y'all rewatch or decide to go back through this, you'll know what I'm talking about. It has, I have no problem with that. This won't be the last time we have conversations like this. It shouldn't be. And I want to give a shout out to Chef, to Arcana, Rob, everybody who poured out for the stream, Sydney, of course. This wasn't about bashing anybody, but we got to be honest about what we see out here, man, because some of this stuff just gets overboard. He called the woman a bitch and all type of stuff. He ain't know her. I don't even think she disrespected him. But you know, clicks, views, likes, clip farming. I guess for people like that, every second is an opportunity to make a video go viral. And that's why I'm very disappointed. Chef has said something, and I want to know myself too. Why is it always the worst of us that are the ones that's representing everybody?
They stand out.
Yeah. Like corn on the bottom of the foot. Anyway, man. Great show tonight. Appreciate y'all for hanging out. I'll be back tomorrow morning. And Sydney's segment later on. So yeah, I still haven't figured out how to pronounce that word yet. I did it once, but I think Fujiwara or something like
that. Fujiwara.
Right. Yeah. That's gonna be an interesting one. But we about to get up out of here, man. Do me a solid before you. Oh, thank you to everybody who has been subscribing, pulling up to the channel, showing love, man. Appreciate y'all. Do me a solid before y'all go. Appreciate you. If you need to reach me, you know where I'm at. Peace.
If I'm a one-hit wonder, at least I got one, huh? At least I got something, really ain't me. The beat bumping, one song could change lives. Let's see something, one joke could save lives. We gon' keep coming, keep functioning, something out of nothing. Ball-wise, I'm top 300, get your favorite artist. I'll chop it up with mutton if they haters. Your votes could be bludgeon if they for real. We getting money, subtract BS minus Negroes, cutting everything authentic. Stupid shit I did it, punishing myself like my mom prison. No questions, no tea, not lifted. One time.